What's going on, guys? It's your boy Adjen back again for another Eversoul video, and for today let's talk about beginner's guide. So are you guys looking for a beginner's guide? Don't worry because Prydwen.gg got you covered. So we are going to take a look at Prydwen.gg's beginner's guide here, and huge shout out to them for preparing and making this very well made guide. So let's begin. About Eversoul. Eversoul at its core is an idle game. So I know a lot of players are already turned off by knowing that Eversoul is going to be an idle game. But it is what it is. Not everyone is not fond of idle games. I just want to let you guys know that Eversoul is an idle game. So we have here the common terminologies in the game. So we have soul. That's how characters you can use in this game are called. These are the characters, units, yada yada, or heroes or something. They are called soul in the game. C, these are the common soul. R, rare soul. E, epic soul. These are the rarities. Plus, for example, R plus this means a subtier between the big tiers. Pooder. No, this one should be Powder, not Pooder. Souls that are used to upgrade other souls. Buff, a positive effect that makes your soul stronger. Debuff, a negative effect. CC, crowd control. DOT, damage over time. Cleanse, dispel. If you've been playing a lot of games already, most of the terminologies here are pretty common to you. Are just like self-explanatory. So we have classes. We have different classes in the game. We have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 different classes in the game. We have the caster, your mage, defender, the tank, ranger, the what do you call this? The bow type characters. Usually a long range character. Striker, the agile front lines or the assassins. Supporter, the heart of the team. Usually healers and buffers or a debuffer. And warrior, a frontliner, or probably your DPS. So souls, character souls in Eversoul belong to one of 6 faction. So we have the human faction, we have the beast faction, we have the fairy faction, we have the undead faction, and we have the angel and demon faction, which are the very much rare faction in the game. Probably the hardest game that you can obtain in the game. So if you are F2P, you probably might not want to be aiming for rerolling for these two, because you need dupes. Obtaining dupes in this game will make or break the game, in my honest opinion. It's going to be easy to raise the character, then you might want to reroll for them, but it also depends on how easy or how hard the rerolling process will take. Just take note on that one. There are some characters already here that they're what they can do. So just check this one out if you have the time. I will not be explaining every character because that will take a lot of time. Just note that they have already some description for their what they can do and what they can do. And also, I've already talked in my previous video the potentially strong characters that you can aim for during your infinite reroll banner. So we have here the image below. You can see how the faction counter each other. So usually the angel and demons are good and bad to each other. So the beast, the fairy, the human, and the undead. So rarity tiers, common characters. Maximum level only is up to level 40. Will be rarely used even at the start of the game, and will be discarded for a currency that you can use in one of the shops. Rare characters, blue, max level is 60. Will be used in the early game, but epic characters will soon start replacing them. Still, rare characters have an important function. They can be upgraded to epic rarity and higher, and then be used as fodder to upgrade the rarity of your epic characters. This is the very important thing to note about the rare characters. So do not disregard this note. They can be upgraded to epic rarity, meaning you can use them to upgrade your epic characters easily without having to get the dupes. That is what I am getting from this one. Epic characters, the purple ones, max level is 100. Will form the core of your team once you obtain them, but getting a single copy of them is not enough because of the dupe system in this game. In idle games, the starter rarities are only the beginning. While their names were not revealed yet, we know what colors they will have: orange, pink, and blue-purple gradient. To reach the higher rarities, you will need to raise rare characters to epic and use them as fodder, but also get dupes for the epic characters you actually plan to use. While the rarity progression path is not known yet, here's how it looks in another popular idle game, which is the AFK Arena. So here, from rare to rare plus, then rare plus to elite, elite to elite plus, then elite plus to legendary. This is also somewhat similar to Memento Mori. If you played that game, that is also an idle game, and this is very similar to that one. So it would be a very grindy game for upgrading your character, because as you can see, we have here up to mythic. There's a lot of upgrades. So important information. Here's the most important thing. You should never use epic characters as fodder. Sure, by sacrificing them, you're progressing faster. But there will come one day when you will want to build that character. Either it will be buffed or you will need it for some content. And you will regret foddering it. Just be patient. That's the name of the game in idle games. This is very, very important, guys. Be patient. That's the name of the game in idle games. If you don't have the patience, then maybe idle games is not for you. So there's that also. And also, because angel and demon factions don't have fodder, you will have to only use their dupes to improve their rarity chair. Yes, this is also one of the important things to note. That is why aiming to reroll for them is probably not a good idea, in my honest opinion. But you do you. If you want to reroll for an angel and demon, then do it. No one is stopping you. Because of this, we suggest to avoid investing into characters from those factions as a F2P player. Okay, this one is mostly targeted for the F2P players. But if you're a whale, you can just probably swipe and get all the angel and demons with max dupes already. Well, you can use them during the first few days. Once you gain more dupes from the main 4 factions, they will quickly overcome angel and demons with raw stats. That is one of the things that you should remember also from this one. If you are going to be targeting the angel and demon factions. So we have here team building. The team in Eversoul consists of 5 characters. And similar to other games, you will obtain additional stats when you use more characters from the same faction. So you are advised to build a faction team, like a mono faction team, something like that. So here's the translation for the image above. So we have here 3 characters from the same faction in the team, plus 10% attack, 10% HP. Have 5 characters, each from different faction. These are synergies, synergy buffs. That is why the game is encouraging players to build a focus mono faction or mono something like that, because of these synergy buffs that attach to them. Angel and demon factions break the above rules though. If you add an angel faction character to your team, it will act as if it belongs to the faction you have most characters of in the team. So angel and demon are something like an omni character, omni faction characters. They do not belong to any faction. They function as in the team that they are in. Like for example, if you have 3 times undead, 1 fairy, and 1 angel, you will get the per faction bonus as the angel character will be treated as undead. Take note on this one. And as for the demon faction, they don't interact with other factions but provide bonuses based on the number of demon characters in the team. So 1 demon, 15% attack. 2 times demon, 15% attack. Mono demon, 25% attack, 20% crit chance, 30% crit damage. Probably, this one is pretty OP, but this one is probably for the whales only. That is what I'm getting from this one. So what's the difference from other idle games in that Eversoul can also set a formation, and depending on your choice, you will get different bonus stats. So you have some different types of formation also when entering the battle. So there are 4 formations you can choose. 3 back, 2 front, 2 back, 3 front, 4 back, 1 front, or 1 back, 4 front. Depending on the formation you choose, you will get some buffs according to their formation. And then we have another important information here. That is only the theory that you should be aware of, but in reality, you won't build your team to obtain the faction buffs. Especially in the early and mid game. Why? Because you will be limited by the fodder mentioned earlier. And the more characters from one faction that you will use, the slower your progress will become. Interesting, because I thought the game is encouraging us to have a mono faction team, but that is probably only best during the late game or the end game, and when you're already in the end game, because if you started to create a mono faction very early on in the game, you will lack a lot of materials or resources to level up your characters, because they will your resources will be shared from the units that you are trying to raise. That is why it is advisable here to form a team of different factions. As stated here, so what should you do instead when building a team? I've already said this one. Pick 1 character each from the 4 main factions, in a way that you cover the most important roles: defender, warrior, caster, supporter, yada yada. For the pip spot, pick another supporter from the faction you have most epic characters and fodder up. Use the 3 back and 2 formation at it's the most balanced one, and the roles you pick will fit it really well. So what characters to actually use? Who is good and who to avoid? They would like to point. While I would like to point the best characters to use, Eversoul did not have a CBT or OBT, and nobody was able to play the game before its release. This means we don't know who is good or bad, and since we only have access to skills of all characters, we can base our suggestions on them only. This one is correlated to the video that I published earlier. So if you have the time, you might want to check that one out also. And then we have here the potentially strong characters. I've already talked this one in my previous video, as I've said. So I think that is all about the beginner's guide for this one. Here we have some early progression guide. So while we were not able to play the game yet, from the videos we saw and from playing other idle games, we are pretty certain about the early game progression. Tutorial is the first thing that awaits you in Eversoul. The game will teach you how to set up formation, use active and ultimate skills, how to level a character, and other things. You will obtain Lindsay midway through the tutorial. If you decide to skip all cutscenes, the tutorial should take you around 15 to 20 minutes or so. At the end of the tutorial, you will unlock the summoning feature and obtain the infinite newbie ticket. As the name suggests, you will be able to reroll the ticket as many times as you want. After doing a pull using the ticket, you will obtain 10 characters and only one of them will be epic. Take note guys, only one of them will be epic. You can only get one epic on the reroll, infinite reroll banner. Still, this is enough to get the character you want. So don't be afraid to roll as long as you need. And after accepting the pool you made, the game will progress. Continue progressing through the story, and by doing so, you will unlock additional features. And then, Prydwen will prepare a guide for what's unlocked after the game's release. So till then, here's a list of things you should avoid during your first few days. So we have here some important tips. So the generic, use the available codes as soon as they are released. They usually give you more gems and pools. And we will be keeping a list of the codes on the website, so do check it often. Don't bother with rerolling. An idle game, additional copy of an epic means nothing, and also the game has an infinite newbie banner from which you can get one epic of your choice. Angel and demons are excluded from the banner. This one is also in my previously published video. This is the topic of my previous published video. So take any chair list you find during first 1 to 2 weeks with a grain of salt. So if you're interested on my takes regarding this one, go check that one out. And yeah. So if you want to read all of this one, I will be putting again the links in the description below. And huge shout out to Prydwen.gg for preparing and making this very well made beginner's guide. And I think that's it for me for today guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you can help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.